Hello Saviors, welcome to another support build video. Today I will go over the Archer support build for Singularity parties. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. So why do we do this? This is an Archer, Hunter, Falconer, and Appraiser build. The three main caveats of this build is that it debuffs the enemy, allowing party members to do more critical damage. It allows you to earn money on the side if you're using the identifying skill from the Appraiser class. It is relatively easy to gear up and takes little to no effort. While these are brief overtakes on the specific build for the Archer and Hunter, Falconer, and Appraiser, I will go into a more in-depth video which you can time jump in the links below to the gameplay discussion. But the key points for the Archer build is that you want to max out the enhanced art for Swift Step and Concentration. The other Mystic Tome that you will be using to obtain arts for is the Leap's Art Dexterity. This allows you to pull mobs in Singularity while escaping damage from them. For the Hunter class, you want to max out enhanced arts for Coursing, Rush Dog, Retrieve, and Howling. You do want to get the arts for Coursing Grip, Rush Dog Onslaught, and Retrieve Decreased Defense. Now for the Falconer class, you want to max out enhanced arts for Pheasant, Sonic Strike, and Tomahawk. You definitely want to get the arts for Tomahawk Scorch because this applies a burning damage over time within a straight line. This applies a lot of damage over time. And the last class you'll need is the Appraiser class. The skills you want to max out in terms of attributes is Blindside. Definitely max out Blindside first if you're short on attributes. Then get Devaluation, and you do want to get arts for Blindside Focus and Devaluation Increased Chance. This increases the chances of devaluating the enemy. In terms of types of equipments that are required, the episode 11 Savano set is perfect. You can also use the Sea Eclipse Varna with random and fixed icores. Cards are not really necessary, but it provides great survivability. Cards like blue cards, Zara and Noelle, and purple cards like Stone Whale and Gazing Golem. Now the weapon really doesn't matter because you're not restricted in terms of what types of skills you need to use on weapon requirements. Pets can equip weapon and armor, so any type is fine as long as it makes your pet stronger. Now, without going into any further detail, I will now showcase and describe each skill, attributes, and the equipment required in the next following video. Hope you guys enjoy this. So today I'm going to showcase some of the skills used in an Archer build, specifically a support class for Singularities. To start off, I will review the three main skills that you would need in the Archer class, and that is Swift Step, Leap, and Concentration. In terms of attributes, you definitely want to enhance Concentration, enhance Swift Step, and if necessary for Escape and pulling mobs in Singularity, you want the arts Leap Dexterity. This removes the cooldown of Leap by 5 seconds, which would put it at 10 seconds. After you execute the Leap itself, you increase your movement speed by 10 to 20 seconds. 10 to 20 by 3 seconds. The next class is the Hunter class. Now in Hunter class, you need Coursing, Rush Dog, 1 point in Retrieve, and 1 point in Praise. Likewise, you need 1 point in Growling, 7 in Howling, and 5 in Hounding. Now, in terms of attributes, you want to max out Companion Mastery, Tenacity. I usually keep them around 60 as a conservative approach to saving your attribute points to max out one of the main skills, and that is Coursing Enhance. You also want Retrieve, Decreased Defense. This decreases the physical defense of an enemy attacked by Retrieve by 2% per attribute level. Given that it is 5, it would decrease the enemy by 10%. You also want Train Ground Companion, Rush Dog Enhance, Companion First Aid, Coursing Enhance, and Howling Enhance. Now, in terms of arts, you also want the art coursing grip. This applies a bloodstain debuff for 10 seconds around a 100 range. When attacking using the coursing debuff, it is applied to the enemy. Now, the damage, 30% of the coursing factor, goes to fine enemies near 50 range. Now, why do we get this? Well, the debuff allows your party to do 30% more damage, so this is a must. Now, Falconer. What skills? 1 point in Ruse, which resets your Falconer skills. Circling, it is set to 5. Pheasant, it is set to 15. We're not taking Hanging Shot because you're not DPSing, you're not really killing anybody at this point. You're mainly support. Your damage will be very lackluster, so keep that in mind. Sonic Strike, keep it at 8. Aiming, keep it at 10. Tomahawk is one of your main attack skills as well. I maxed this out. And then Preemptive Strike, keep at 1. In terms of attributes, again, Companion Mastery, Tenacity. Pheasant, Rapid Attack. Max out Sonic Strike Enhance. You want Sonic Strike Confusion. This is especially helpful when you're taking down, when you're blinding enemies, because a confused enemy will have their physical defense reduced and their physical attack increased by an attribute level, which is okay in Singularity if you have a Paladin tanking for you. Max out Tomahawk Enhance, Pheasant Enhance, train the Flying Companion. You also want to expand your circling. So what is circling? Circling increases your AoE attack ratio. Your Hawk reveals hidden enemies after 5 seconds of casting, and this will consume your SB continuously until it's deactivated, in other words. So make sure you bring your mana potions. Falconer Hawkeye applies 3% additional minimum critical chance per attribute level. At 10, it is 30%, a must-have. And then Tomahawk Scorch. Tomahawk Scorch will actually create a trail of fire. It's a damage over time effect. In other words, we can call it a burning debuff that damages an enemy with flame by 5% of Tomahawk. If your Tomahawk skill factor is 20,000, it does more damage. The last class you want is the Appraiser class. This is a special unlock class. You can use your unlock voucher or do the quest itself. I didn't have an unlock voucher. This took me about 2 days to complete. To support your teammates, you want Forgery. This duplicates your accessories so your teammates can utilize them. If your team is really good at this point, you probably don't need to get Forgery. I would probably invest into Identify so you can make some money on the side. Or you can get Insurance to decrease the equipment durability loss and the Goddess Blessed gem loss. The most important skill you want to max first, if anything, is Blindside, because this applies a magnifying glass on the enemy. And foes around the attack enemy, you will have a higher chance of being critically attacked. Once you max this out, you want to get the Blindside Enhance, and the art that you want is called the Art's Blindside Focus. And what this does, it changes the overheat to 1. In other words, you can't use it twice, you can only use it once. But you channel it for 2 seconds, and this applies the Expose Weakness debuff on the enemies. This causes them to take 30% more damage from critical strikes. The caveat to this is that you would be increasing the cooldown by 25 seconds, which is okay. You want Devaluation, which provides a chance to turn all your enemy equipment enhancement and transcendence values to 0. When the enemy is a monster, it decreases their physical, magical attack, and their physical and magical defense. Mine is currently set at a devaluation chance of 90%, only because I have the devaluation increase chance maxed out, and you want to get the enhancement for devaluation as well. Overestimate, what it does is increases the enhancement value of your main weapon, and if you get the Overestimate Enhanced Allies, it applies to party members. Now, attributes, Enhance. Eventually, you want to move on to Insurance and Identify if you want to make some money. Enhance Allies for Overestimate. Devaluation, this is something I will have to max out eventually. Again, Devaluation increase chance, and Art's Blindside Focus. Now, how do we set this up? So a couple of buffs that you need for yourself is the Swift Step, Concentration, and Overestimate. So far our SP is kept at 7414, but the moment you start using Circling and Preemptive Strike, your SP will start consuming on its own. These are your main buffs basically. Swift Step, Concentration, Overestimate, Circling, and Preemptive Strike. Now the three other main skills that you'll be using constantly throughout the Singularity is Aiming. Enemies in your target area will be reached outside normal range. Growling, your companion growls to threaten enemies. They become immobilized in fear, and they will be unable to act and vulnerable to missile attacks. This includes bullets, arrows, cannonballs, just overall more damage from missile attacks. Howling threatens enemy, debuff their target's critical resistance. Now, I'm sure you're starting to see a theme here. Basically, more critical damage. Leap, just hop away, backwards. Hounding enhances your companion's senses, allowing it to trace hidden objects. The companion finds concealed targets nearby and increases your loot chance. I always cast this before killing a boss in Singularity. I try to keep it up as much as I can to maximize my loot chance. Coursing and Rush Dog, they work together. If there's any rotation here that you have to memorize, it's Coursing and Rush Dog. And why do we do that? Because Coursing, when you hold the target, it deals bleeding damage. And the moment you do bleeding damage, you want Rush Dog. Because Rush Dog, enemies hit by Rush Dog have a 50% chance of being stunned. But if you have the skill arts Rush Dog Onslaught, you remove the debuff, stun effect, and you're replacing it with 40% increased skill damage. A must-have. I don't have it yet, but this is something I'm working towards. Bleeding enemies take 80% increased skill damage. Think about that for a second. 80% more increased skill damage. That means you're going to be clearing that Singularity 5 before it hits 0. So if we're doing that again. Retrieve brings your dog back to you, or rather it drags the target towards you. The target becomes unable to attack. Praise increases your companion's stat temporarily. To increase your hunter's damage, you gain immunity to knockback and knockdown. Again, Roost just resets your skills under Circling and Preemptive Strike. So let's see if I can actually get that to work this time. So, Devaluation, Blindside, Fire debuff. And then you have Tomahawk. And because I have the arts Tomahawk Scorch on, it's going to leave a trail of fire. The other attack is the Sonic Strike attack. And basically flies down and attacks. Pheasant is an AoE attack. You can choose your range. And it drops a dummy doll in which the bird will attack. And that's pretty much it in terms of what type of skills you want for your Archer support build. Archer support equipment. You really don't need much of a equipment requirement as long as you have the episode 11 Varna set. What I have here is the endgame equipment, the level 440 Savanos Desnai set. And what this allows me to do is to activate the Desnai field. With this, my damage is increased by 25% per part, my looting chance is increased by 100% per part, and my movement speed is increased by 3 when equipping all 4. You also receive 12.5% less damage per part. In total, or rather in totality, all 4, you'll be getting 100% increased damage and a 50% decrease in challenge mode and Singularity. I'm also using the Draconis accessories. If you're wondering how to get these Savanos does not. I will provide a video in the future going over the newer items. But one thing to know about these Savanos set is that these are actually fixed, or rather, they're the random I-cores. You can't really apply them, so you have to reroll them on the item, and you can't extract them. So this is very different from, let's say, the Glacia Legenda items, which allows you to apply the fixed I-cores and random I-cores. If you're wondering what I-cores are and how to reroll them, I created a video previously. I will provide that link below. And that's pretty much it, guys, in terms of what type of equipments to use. Cards, because I am mainly in the current mode of getting some loot increase chance, so I'm using Gorkas. And for some survivability, you want to get Gazing Golem. I don't have a dirt one, so I'm using a 2/2 card, which allows me to hold more weight when I am farming. In terms of DPS, you can use another Bovine card. This applies the bonus strength attack. Marbar card, and yeah, Marbar card basically helps you recover SP when you kill mutant monsters. This is great for leveling in the outer, in sewers, basically. Let's see what else. Assister cards, I kept it as is because I'm trying to level these. But if you have a specific assister card that increases arrow damage, like the Fire Lord, try to get that maxed out. This will greatly increase your damage. Ski Eclipse is a must-have as well. What it does is it provides fixed damage. In other words, it adds just pure damage for you. This is my actually current setup for completing level 40 Assisted Dungeon. I will have another video coming up soon regarding how to complete Assisted Dungeons in a relatively easy and simple fast pace.